Yeah, it's
Hey yo, we are back. We are doing major trailer upgrades today. We did Pro-Am round 1 last weekend, and once again we came across the issue where we had to take a bunch of tools inside of a bag from the garage because we shipped all of our tools to Vegas, and we realized that we were missing just a bunch of stuff. So we went a little bit crazy. We went to the good old Harbor Freight in the Amazon, and we got a toolbox. We got tools. We got a dedicated jack just for the trailer. We got tire racks, a winch, buckets, organizer tools, dollies, this and that. We have a whole bunch of stuff that we're gonna outfit the trailer with. Sam luckily came out to help, and we're gonna be just kind of outfitting the trailer and doing what we need to do. Fun fact, the last time I took the trailer out after Pro-Am, the electric jack on the trailer broke, and I was barely able to get it off by like a millimeter off the truck. So we got a new electric jack, and that's kind of what transpired doing the full upgrade. So we're gonna take some couple hours today. Obviously, you saw the toolbox that took Sam 4.5 hours to build.
wow.
And just kind of outfit the whole trailer with everything, and we're gonna film the process. Enjoy. We got Sam working on the toolbox here. He's almost finished.
We're on bolt number 40 of 63. We're getting there.
Meanwhile, we have Sam still working on the toolbox. He forgot to put in these brackets. I told him not to worry about it, but
Yeah, it took the 60 bolts to now we're at like 180 of them, so we're getting there.
so he's adamant about removing these bolts right here so that he can put this back in. But he didn't want to use the Milwaukee ratchet, and he was cranking at it with the tools. What do you think of the Milwaukee ratchet?
It was wrist day, so I guess I've done enough, so we'll switch over.
It's officially been 3.5 hours. Sam has the toolbox assembled.
Well, there's all these extra instructions.
Wow.
So,
Now we're just sticker slapping. It was like Noah stickers. I got one of the tire racks installed. Luckily, it's like 53 inches tall or wide. And from right here to there, I got 54.5 inches. So we'll be able to put another tire rack right there. We'll be looking good. I'm gonna build the other one. All right. Tire racks are installed. Looking good. I don't know if the Corvette will fit. We did some measurement with Sam where he just like measured up to where he was, and we walked up to the Z that's in the warehouse, and it fit, and the Corvette's lower, so. But these are long overdue. One of these will allow me to take 8 more tires, then I can have all the mounted tires on this tire rack, and we'll be just dialed. Super stoked on these. They're very sturdy. They're not going anywhere, and we got the bar too. So after you load in the tires, you put in this bar so the tires don't go anywhere. We got a bunch of storage right here, oil, tire inflator, jack stands, whatever is gonna be needed for this. Sam's working on installing a plug that's gonna go outside. That way when we have everything locked up and the AC running, we're able to just go ahead and plug something in. We don't have to keep the doors open or cracked open at all. Now we got the new jack unwrapped. My brother came to hang out, repping the shirt. We got some dollies in here in case the car breaks, some foam, bunch of stuff inside of the toolbox. We kind of organized it to time, but some clamps, all the new tools that we got and everything. So they do recommend that you put the tire rack on studs. Looking back on it, I probably should have listened. They ripped out. I see that these screws are way too short, so I was definitely barely grabbing on to the wood, and most of it is freaking the self-tapping, so I'll have to get bigger, better screws and remount these. It's day 2. We got here at the crack of dawn. Sun's just not coming up. It's raining outside, but time to finish the trailer. We ended yesterday with the tire rack falling over there. I'm actually using 50mm screws, and the last like 10mm are actually just the self-tapping part, and I can go all the way up to a 75mm screw. So as you can see, with the screw all the way in, this is how much was actually grabbing onto the wall, and then this was obviously not doing anything. So that's why it fell off. So I'm upgrading to some bigger lag bolts. As you can see, I measured the depth by going to the hole with a caliper, and I had 70mm, so I got some 65mm. They're actually 2.5 inches, which comes out to like 65 point something. millimeters, so it's fine. It'll do. They're a little bit thicker so that they'll be able to grab well onto those holes, but not too thick because I still needed them to fit in here, and they don't. So I'm actually gonna have to drill these out a little bit. But considering how much was grabbing before, if that's about it right there on the left, how much was grabbing, on the right, how much is gonna be grabbing. Got it mounted up, got all 4 tires on there, fits perfect. Don't know if I'll be able to fit 285s. Maybe if they're squeezed in there, there's a little gap here, a little gap here, a little gap here. So they might squeeze in. We'll test that the day that we need to. But definitely a lot sturdier now. I mean, we're bouncing in and everything, and it's not even creaking or anything like that. So super happy. This tire mount also is sick because there's this bar that comes with it. So no ratchet straps, tires stay in there. We did the other side also, and you know it's grabbing really good because it's bending the aluminum of the frame. And I hope for the best. Once again, I mean, this is the stock we're using. So I'm gonna cut out this big of a piece because it'll be like this. So we'll have a little excess behind the hole in front of the hole. And I mean, maybe I'll double up, but probably not. That'll be what we use. So if you don't have one of these tools, it's super cool. It's called a chalk shot. Got this super long ago, still good to this day, but it allows you to find the center point of a hole, and then you press down and it literally just leaves a little green mark on where you want to drill out. Obviously you can grab your punch afterwards, since this is steel, and really mark your center, but it helps you to find it. If you were to just do the center punch on here directly and you have to find center, it could be a little bit difficult, but this finds it for you every single time. Alright, so definitely don't know how this is going to turn out, but 2 cross pieces like this, 2 cross pieces the other way, so it makes a nice plate. So technically everything would have to rip out, like all of this, if the winch can't hang on. So got some lock nuts on there, should be lock washers, should be good to go. That's a winch install. Next we gotta redo the wiring here for the jack, and then just do a little bit more organization, but we're trucking along, baby. It's not going anywhere. Like this. It moves. It's not going anywhere. It's looking really, really nice. Got the winch all finished up. It's just sticking out right here, and it's really coming along. It's looking good. Super stoked so far. So we'll carry this on tomorrow, which for you guys is right now. All right, we are officially on day 3, and hopefully the final day of these trailer upgrades. So we're almost done. The battery was dead on the trailer, so we actually have the generator hooked up today just to charge up the battery inside of the trailer a little bit, because the electric crunch wasn't working. I don't plan on being here for a while, maybe an hour or 2 tops. We just have to finish buttoning this up here today. That wiring, this plug, I actually found out after the fact that it is to, if you wanted to charge the battery, so it's wrong. What I want to use it for is as an extension cord. So we got a new plug, we'll have to swap that out, run the cable all nice and neat. And then the last and final things that we need to do is organize these 2 top cabinets But everything else, I mean, besides this clutter of what we're working with here, is done. So cool fact is the comm systems are charging. Let's test the battery. Boom, battery charges. So when we're at the track, we're hooked up on the generator, everything's good. We got that cold AC blowing, baby. We got to find a spot for the jack. And one more last little thing is we actually got 35-gallon gas tank that you wind up and it puts fuel into the car for you. And we're gonna replace these 2 5-gallon jugs that I haul around with that. And I'm thinking we're actually gonna put it right here in front of the winch because it'll be nice and secure out of the way. Yes, it kind of defeats all the purposes of what I was doing before where you have access, but fuel is something that's always gonna need to come out anyways. So we'll do that for now because we already have the E-Track there. If we find that there might be a better spot for it after 1 or 2 events, we'll probably relocate it. That way it's less in the way. But for now, we'll keep it there. All right, that's it for the trailer revamp. Super excited on how everything came out. It was 3 extensive days, but it's dialed, it's perfect. We're ready to go across country, do any events or anything like that. It's definitely what we were looking for. So we'll do a quick overview real quick of everything we did. We got the 2 tire racks right here. Obviously one side's mounted, the other side doesn't have the tires yet. I really like these because they have the bar right here, so you don't need to strap them down and the tires can't come out. So that's a big bonus because it's one less thing that you got to worry about when you're loading up the tires. We got a penny board right there, which we never used, but it was in the trailer, so we just mounted it. It's really not taking up any room. Ripstick, fan ready to go. We have an extension cord on the hook, set in stone. That way it's always in the same spot. We got some jacks. We have a bunch of different liquids, power steering fluid, brake clean, so on and so forth. We actually got a bunch of these at Pro Am Round 1 for free, and they were in the trailer, so I put them in there. Some extra oil. Probably get rid of the 5 quarts of oil and add more of these. I know I don't have brake fluid, so that's something I'll have to add in, and it would fit perfectly right here. The tire inflator, because obviously you need that for the track. 2 extra spare tires. We're gonna add a little hook right here just to be able to hook up the jack so it's here and out of the way. But for now I just have it like this. We got the 2 race ramps, which ultimately those will end up sideways in the back after we load in the car, and they'll be the first thing that you take out when you unload the car. So they're just here for now because there is, guess what, no car in there. Extra straps right here and a couple extra bottles of fluid just because this Tupperware was already here, so we did it. Gas cans, we have the tents mounted up perfectly. So the front end of the car comes to about this line right here, meaning that these tents will be in the perfect spot. And without the gas cans there, I can sneak in and strap the car down easily. Obviously, you saw the toolbox that took Sam 4.5 hours to build. We outfitted it all with tools. We got it strapped down. We added the E-Tracks. This thing's not going anywhere. Super stoked on that. And then the tire rack, which is about 1.5 feet off of from the front cabinet, so it allows you to give room. Not sure about this whole gas can yet, if we're gonna keep it or gonna be its final location. Still debating on that. I tried to make it work and it wasn't working, so we might just opt with the regular gas cans. But for now it's here because I have it in here. It's filled with fuel, so I want to see if I can get it working. If I can, we'll just leave it there. If not, we'll do that. We'll get rid of it. We got the generator hooked up. Once again, everything's tied down, strapped down. Nothing's going anywhere. We got chairs in here and a table. We have, for the side of the tent, I have these walls. One with branding and 2 to help keep the shade away. So that's all in here with some extra water bottles. We got our speaker and all the power for the trailer in here. We got all of our driving gear, from the wrist straps to head guard to the gloves to the shoes, all in there. In here we just have extra stuff like extra towels, extra trailer goodies, tie downs, attachments. It's like Nova stickers. Hit me up at the track, I'll give them to you for free. And then tripod, microphones, toe plates, so on and so forth, kind of just jammed in there. Once again, the comm system. This is like my favorite section right here because we got all the walkies ready to go, always charging in their dedicated location. We got the winch down there too. I ended up tying this in right here. It ties in to this right here, so it's perfect. So you can literally plug it in, stand out of the way, and not risk getting hurt. So that's dope. Fire extinguisher, always gotta have those on deck. We got spare batteries, which ultimately also plug in right there, so I can put up to 4. And we got the whiteboard. So any notes that we're making at the track that we don't have time to take notes of right away on our phones, or if Andrew's doing it or Sophie's doing it or so on and so forth, they can kind of just leave the notes right here, and at the end of a track day we can kind of recuperate and figure out what we need to do. There's a pegboard right here. If we have a schedule or track map or anything like that, we can put it up here, and we know always to look in the right spot. The helmets and bucket hat is obviously right there. I do want to get an extra glove mount for here. We did not test it, but we did swap out the plug here. It should be working. That way we can keep the doors closed, keep the trailer nice and cool, and just run an extension cord out for the fan or for chargers or a grill or whatever we might be bringing to the track. We got the new electric winch attached on, and then my beautiful wiring job to tap it all in. I didn't show you guys that I did that, but it's looking mighty fine. So overall, super stoked. I don't really see anything else that we could be doing to this trailer. The only couple notes, this will be for part 2 or part 3, because it's technically the second time that I've done a trailer upgrade. It's gonna be to repaint this front frame here. It's looking a little bit crusty, it's looking a little bit rusted. I'd like to give it a fresh coat of paint just so that it looks mighty fine. We do have the bearings and everything on the trailer. We need to grease up and ensure that they're on good condition. The other side is actually missing a cap, and the bearing housing actually has a hole in it, so I don't think it has any grease. I always spray a little bit of WD-40. We haven't taken this thing on a long trip. The next big trip that we're probably gonna take is gonna be the 4th of July at CMP, tentative. We don't know if we're gonna do it yet, but if we do, we'll do a full revamp on the braking system, the bearings, and all that good stuff to make sure that it's all in good order. And then last but not least is the flooring. Of course, this flooring is looking like crap. We tied down some stuff and it moved and it ripped out the flooring. I'd like to do the diamond grade like this flooring that's made of the plasticky rubber stuff all around and on the front gate also, because the front gate is just wood right now. So I'd like to do all that. Hopefully we will take home the championship for Flavor Express comp over on the West Coast, and if we do, then we can add a nice little Wisefab wall also, or because you get a Wisefab kit if you get first place. So to have a nice little backup kit in the trailer, that would be super sick. And besides that, a little side step, because this trailer is higher than usual because it's a tri-axle trailer. So I'd like to add a little side step to make it easier to get in and out of, because when you do it, 10-15 times a day, you do feel that it gets a little bit harder. But other than that, super happy. Thank you, Sam, for helping me, and that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for liking, watching, subscribing, and we'll see you on the next one.